So today I'm going to give you a biblical response to this Respect for Marriage Act and the discussion about gay marriage in general. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Biblical Conservative channel, where we come against the anti-God, anti-human, anti-biblical, anti-American spirit that's looking to prevail in this land. Please be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So the Senate passed the Respect for Marriage Act yesterday. And I know there was an amendment added by Tom Tillis and some other people to ensure that religious liberties were included. But what I want to talk about today is, why should a Christian, why should a biblical person complain about same-sex marriage? It's been essentially the law of the land since Obergefeld was passed many years ago. So why would Christians be upset about that? Recently, Joe Rogan asked Matt Walsh that question: did God create people gay? And if so, why are Christians upset about gay people getting married?
People gay in the first place?
Well, of course I would say it comes from God. If I didn't believe that, then I wouldn't be Christian.
Why would God make people gay?
So I'm going to give a biblical response to why Christians should be, number one, not outraged. No, you should not be outraged. But why Christians have opposition to gay marriage. Number one, Christians have opposition to gay marriage because marriage was an institution created by God, not by man. Man did not create marriage. What has happened is man has taken ownership of marriage. In specific terms, the government has taken ownership of marriage and is taking it out of the rightful place where it belongs, in the church. So the government has redefined marriage to mean something that God didn't define it to mean. In the beginning, he said he made them male and female. And for this reason, a man shall leave his mother and father and be joined to his wife, and the two shall be one flesh. Just speaking on basic biology, you know that God made them male and female in order to come together and be one. Because to be honest with you, when God created Adam, Eve was on the inside of Adam, because God took a rib from Adam to create Eve. So God's intentions for the male and the female to be one unit under him, in submission to him. Husband, wife, and then children that come as a result. He wants the marriage union to have children, for there to be godly seeds. And the problem with a lot of people talking about this is that, number one, they're not biblically literate, and number two, they don't have the intelligence of the Holy Spirit speaking through them. See, you have to understand something. I'm not against homosexual people. To me, homosexuality is a sin, just like if I lie, just like if a lot of these men out here sleeping around with different women, just like if you go out here and you steal and you rob, it's all apart from God's ideal way of living. But the reason why we are so strongly against same-sex marriage is because when God created community, he started with male and female. And that is what builds a strong community. It has been proven over and over and over again. Family intact, not single family households, not same-sex households, and it's not God's ideal way of living. That's the reason why we're against it. I'm not against gay people. I'm not against LGBTQ people. I love them. I pray for them in the same way I pray for people who are living a promiscuous lifestyle. Anything that's outside of the will of God is wrong. And God did not create people so that they can be gay. God created people so they can have fellowship with him. It just so happens that sin is in the world, so therefore people are living according to sin, and they're doing things that are sinful. Just like you have people divorcing, that is sinful in the eyes of God. Just like you have people Having sex like Nick Cannon with multiple people and producing babies, that is sinful in the eyes of God. It's all the same. We have to stop as Christians placing homosexuality as a sin that's above any other sin. No, it's the same. And that's been a problem with the church. And so I feel compassion for the LGBTQ community because they have been ostracized. They have been attacked. They have been marginalized to a sense by the church because the church, in its attempt to be holy, has attacked them, has denigrated them, but yet they've turned a blind eye to divorce and to promiscuity and other things. They're more willing to accept a person that has been in a lifestyle of promiscuity, that's in a lifestyle of illicit sex, than somebody that's homosexual. And that's not right. That is not right. And so in God's eyes, sin is sin, no matter what it is. Yet he sent Jesus to die on the cross to redeem us from that. So I believe that everybody can be redeemed. So the reason why I'm against same-sex marriage is not because I'm against the people. See, the problem that a lot of people that are in that alternative lifestyle have is that they identify themselves based on what they do. I don't identify you based on what you do. I identify you based on who you are in the eyes of God, not on what you do. And that's the difference. So I'm not attacking you. I'm coming against the behavior. Just like if I was in a lifestyle of gluttony, I would want somebody to call me out against that. I wouldn't get offended. I don't want to call myself a gluttonous and identify with that. No, I want them to say, no, you're wrong. You're living a lifestyle that is outside of the perfect will of God for your life. And that's it. So, and I will say, we have to be wise as believers with how we're addressing these things. We can't attack the people because it's a spirit. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principality and powers and rules and spiritual wickedness in heavenly places. That's what we wrestle against. It's a spirit behind everything that's happening, from Balenciaga and the ad that they're running, to drag queen story hour, to children being paraded in front of drag queens. There's a spirit that's looking to subvert God's perfect will. Sin is in the world. Sin wants to make us victims. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. Jesus did not die for us to be average. He died for us to live a life that's in abundance, according to God's will for our lives. So I'm against same-sex marriage, not because I'm against the people. I'm against it because it's not God's ideal plan. When God created them, he created them male and female. He created them male and female. That's why I'm against it. Marriage is not an institution created by men. I'm going to repeat that. Marriage is an institution created by God. God created it. God defines it. And so I stick to his definition, not the government and not man's.